And welcome back everyone at the third webinar of today of the Chromatography Online Day. In the right-hand corner you can see Jan Volkers from Instrument Solutions, and they will be doing a live demonstration today together with Interchim. As usual, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat. And then we will start with an introduction from Jan. Please go ahead.
All right. Am I on the big screen almost? There I am. Goedemorgen, bonjour. We have also some French people inside. And welcome, of course. Good morning. My name is Jan Volkers. I'm from Instrument Solutions, and I wish you, of course, a warm welcome to this webinar, this live webinar. So it is a really nice thing to see that the machines are really running into this webinar. In the next 30 minutes, we are going live. We're going to see the system and we're going to show you what we can give as an impression of the system from Interchim. We, Instrument Solutions, will do it, the distribution and support in the Netherlands, but Interchim is the company behind it. First, we'll go to a kind of agenda where we'll show you what you can expect in the next 25 to 30 minutes. Here you see our agenda. First, we'll do an introduction on both companies so that you know who is Instrument Solutions and who is Interchim or Advion Interchim. Then I'll give you the options of possibilities, and I will hand over to Alice. She's living in Belgium, and from Belgium we are going to see what is going to be implemented in the system. From Belgium we go further south to France, where Romain and Nicolas, who will show you really the system and the possibilities. So this will be a really nice setup. As mentioned, I'm from Instrument Solutions, and we are located in Nieuwegein in the Netherlands as a private-owned company, and we have several divisions. Chromatography is one part. I will show you more about it. We also have elemental analysis, human perception analysis, and material characteristics. So we have a really broad portfolio where we can supply total lab solutions, like the name says, Instrument Solutions or Total Lab Solutions. For the flash chromatography, we are cooperating with Interchim, a French company, also private owned, have a really broad range on chromatography, and therefore the both companies fit really nice together. Okay, first, of course, a kind of small view on Instrument Solutions further on in the portfolio, because I don't know if everyone knows us well, but I go from the upper right, where we have the HPLC, to the left, where we have GCs, further down to the GC for the human perceptions. So we have a GC, to the flash chromatography on the bottom left, in the middle dosing pumps, and the automation. So we have a really broad portfolio which combines together. We have LC-GCs, we have GC automation, we have LC automation, and we have the flash chromatography also with the adaptations for dosing pumps and other parts. So we are really flexible and looking into the solution of the customer. If I go further to the portfolio of Interchim and then special to the flash chromatography where we are in today, we have actually 4 categories. First is the basic flash or the basic purification systems. Then we go to the prep, and the prep is a higher amount of a bigger volume, bigger flow in the system. So we go to high flow systems. And then we have the ultra preparative. And ultra preparative doesn't mean we go further in flows. So we have really high flows, but we go in higher pressure. So we have the option to optimize our purification and to speed on our purification. And as last group, a sidestep a bit, is the peptides and oligonucleotides purification. This system is inert and therefore specially designed for these kind of applications. So we have 4 categories, but they are really overlapping each other with their all kind of niches. And to go further in the system, and especially into the flash and the prep system, I will hand over to Alice. She's living in Belgium, and I hope she will switch on the camera also now at that moment. There is Alice, and she will go further on and will show you about possibilities with the system and an overview of all that they're able. Alice, the floor is yours.
Yes. Goedemiddag allemaal. Good morning to all of you, and thank you, Jan, for this introduction. I will now present you the system we will work on for this live demo. But before that, just a few words about my colleagues from Advion Interchim and myself. Romain Spadaro and Nicolas Quetan are both part of our purification department, but in two different segments. Romain for the oligonucleotides and peptides part, and Nicolas for the preparative LC in general. Romain has the pleasure to replace Jan Pocherès today, so please be indulgent with him, as he only knows since yesterday, that he had to take over. And myself, I'm in charge of sales and technical support for Northern and Eastern Europe, so I have the pleasure to help our distributors on these territories. Now that presentations are done, let's introduce quickly the one with the most work today, our Pure Flash system 5250 with integrated ELSD. So as you can see, this is a modular system with 3 parts. On top of the system, we do have the control unit with a large convivial 15-inch touchscreen to control the system. But still, if you prefer to work with a mouse and keyboard, it's absolutely no problem. We have more than enough USB ports on the side or at the back side of the instrument. The second module below the control unit is the main pump of the main part of the system, the pump, HPLC technology with 2 heads. And below the 2 heads, you can see the quaternary gradient valve. So with 4 inlets for solvents, but there is also a 5th way that you can use or for air purge or to clean the system. On the right side of this module, we do have all the valves for injection and switching between the 2 or 3 columns position, depending on the model of the system. But I won't say more for now because Nicolas will come back to these parts and give many more details in the second part of this live session. The third module at the bottom is the fraction collector. So as you can see, we do have, it's just magnetic cover. And here you can see our UV detector, so DAD, from 200 to 400 nanometers. You can see that you have easy access to all parts, to the UV lamp, and to the cell if you just open the clamp. You can have an optional UV visible, so with our back UV extended, so then we go from 200 to 800 nanometers. And now, if we move to the other side of the instrument, on the left side now, we do have the integrated ELSD, and you can see so the splitter in the middle, so to send as little as possible of the main flow to the ELSD, because as you know that it's a destructive technique. And on the left side, we do have the syringe pump filled with isopropanol. So this is used for makeup to get the optimal flow rate in the ELSD. And we also do use the syringe pump to clean the ELSD. This is done via a simple click in the software, no manual intervention needed. But we will come back on that also later. And ELSD, just to say why you should use ELSD in case you have compounds which are not UV active, and the mass spectrometer, you can actually see it on the right side of the instrument. But enough talking about it, now let's try it. So Romain, can you please now show how you can easily develop the flash purification method from your TLC plate with your tablet and our application.
Hi everyone. So thank you, Alice. I present you the smartphone application developed by Interchim called TLC to Flash and Prep Transposition to simplify the life of chemists. The application works on Android and iOS smartphone and tablet in 3 versions. Up to today, chemists use pencil, roller, calculator to calculate manually the RF of each compound. Now, the application recognizes automatically each spot and calculate automatically the RF and delta CV of each compound. The calculation is more precise than the ruler, and chemists save time with the technology Flash and Go. The application is very easy to use and intuitive. In few clicks, you define all parameters of the TLC. I show you now how it works by sharing the screen of the tablet. With the application, Okay. With the application, you add an element, you take a picture of your TLC. You can take the picture. You can take the picture directly through the tablet. Then you can add a title. After adding a title, all the spots are automatically recognized. You have to place the deposit line and the solvent line. Then you select the compound of interest by clicking on the different cross in the middle of the spots, and the RF are displayed. With this button, you can automatically show the delta CV, and this gives you an indication of the difficulty of the separation. The other button is the optimal zone. This button has an interest if you use the application of PuriFlash Gen 4 or other flash system. This optimal zone has no interest with Genius because Genius can purify compounds between RF of 0.08 to 0.9. Then you can insert the TLC data as the crude sample mass, the solvent used to develop your TLC, and only 1% of solvent use. The other one is automatically calculated. You can add some comments too. Then it is possible to send this data. So if you select to your email address, you can send directly to an email address in order to add the TLC data on a laboratory electronic board. And you can send the data to Genius. The picture of the TLC will be added on the purification report. Sorry, bad manipulation. So by Bluetooth, and then you select your system. Okay, so now I share the screen of the PuriFlash. So after sending the data to the PuriFlash, you have this screen display. If you click on yes, you can see all the data appear on the screen. Today, this application was downloaded almost 4,000 times in only 3 years. It's a great success. Now, some word about Genius. Genius is a sum of algorithms based on the theory of the chromatography, which generates gradient methods. Genius will create automatically the best purification method based on your TLC data. The gradient methods depends on different parameters, as delta CV, RF of compound of interest, the zone of each compound, and the eluent solvent strengths. Genius analyzes in real time the feasibility of the separation. Genius can purify compound between RF of 0.08 to 0.9, and not necessarily in the optimal zone. Method proposed are solvent dependent. Up to 14 compounds can be entered on Genius. So all the RF are appear here on the screen. User can set 1 to 10 compounds of interest by clicking of the box here. So in this application, the 4 compounds have to be separated as all are compounds of interest. You have 2 different possibilities to use Genius. Use the smartphone application or enter manually the TLC data. The advantage to use the smartphone application is the crude sample mass, solvent, and percentage are automatically filled. You have just needed to select the column proposed by Genius to do the purification. Genius proposes up to 6 different columns according to Interchim column database, stock of column present in the lab. According to your compound solubility at the starting condition, Genius asks and controls the injection method. You have the possibility to inject in liquid. So for this application, we used this column. Then it asks you here the solubility of the compound. You have the possibility to use liquid injection by select yes here. But in this application, compounds are not soluble, so we answer no. And then Genius advise you a good dry load to use. And after, you can click on Go to Run. As you can see, all the different parameters are already set. So in this application, the column is already equilibrated. So we don't need to use equilibration mode. With the system, we use the column order number 1. And to simulate the boost effect, we just increase the flow rate until 44 mils per minute. Now we can share the screen to show you how to install the dry load. So to install the dry load, you put it on the dedicated pre-column order, and it's only Lure lock connection at the inlet and the outlet of the dry load. So after put your dry load, you can launch the method. During the launch of the method, we can just take a few seconds to talk more about the ELSD. The programmation can be easy. You just need to activate it in the method if you want to use it. Preset temperature of 35 degrees is ideal for normal phase and reverse phase. The signal will be adjusted automatically during the run thanks to the patented SAGA, which stands for CDR, automatic gain adjustment. This allows to see both low and high concentrated peak in the same run. No need to compromise. So now we just share the screen of the PuriFlash to show you how the run is now. So you can see the chromatogram on live page. The first compound will go out from the column. So for now, in order to win time, I will just stop this purification and show you the reprocess. The reprocess is the report of the method. As you can see, we have separated 4 compounds of interest in only 15 minutes and only in some tubes. At the end of the purification, you can purge the LSD by go in the purge icon here and only click on one button. You don't need manual intervention. Nothing you need to dismantle. So now, as the normal phase purification is over, I let Nicolas talk to you about the reverse phase and prep purification.
Thank you, Romain. So we will stay on the software. So I will share the software. So here we are in the purge page. So I just have to stop the LSD purge. And now I will switch from the normal phase to the reverse phase very easily. So as Alice told you, we have 4 waves for on the system. So thanks to the quaternary gradient valve, you can keep 2 waves of solvents for the normal phase purification, and for example, 2 other waves of solvents for reverse phase purification. We also have another way on the system, that it's the air purge, but it's normally dedicated to dry the flash column. And in our case, we use this way of solvent, with a cleaning solvent with IPA, just to clean the system from and to switch from normal phase to reverse phase. So I just have to activate air purge. I select the right column holder. I put a flow rate, and I start the cleaning with IPA. So go back on the software, on the system, sorry. Okay, so on the system, by default, you have 2 column holder. So column holder number 1 is on the front of the system here, and column holder number 2 on the side of the system just here. It's a very flexible system, so you can put 2 flash columns or 2 prep columns, and you can also mix flash and prep on the same system. There is no dedicated column holder for prep or for flash. It's up to you. We also have a very specific injection system, thanks to the valve that you can see here. So with this valve, you can make direct injection of solid. So you can connect directly a dry load to the valve. And also you can connect like this, a loop for the liquid injection. What is very interesting with this valve is that you have an injection way for each column. So that means for the column 1 here, you can put a dry load for the injection. And for the column 2, that it's a prep column here, you can keep a loop on the valve to make the liquid injection. On this system, we also have another valve just here. It's an option with the pack multi option, but it's normally used to add a 3rd column on the system. But in our case, to switch easily from normal phase to reverse phase, we have replaced the column by a bypass. So at the moment, the IPA to clean the system goes into the bypass to avoid to go into the columns that are installed on the system. So go back on the software. I can now stop the cleaning with IPA, and I can purge the system with my starting condition in reverse phase mode. So I just have to select the right solvent, put the right percentage. So my starting condition are 30% water and 70% acetonitrile. And I just have to purge the line with my starting condition in reverse phase. So you can manage the switching directly from the software. During this purge, I can create my method. So I can go into the method menu. So here I just have to open my method that is already registered. Okay. So Intersoft, it's a very intuitive software. So you can use it with a minimum of training because everything is written. So for example, in the method panel, you just have to fill all the parts to create your method. The first tile, it's about the solvent. The second one, it's about column. So you just have to select the column into the list and the right column holder. And it automatically applies the right flow rate and the maximum pressure according to the column. The injection tile, so you just have to select liquid or dry load injection. Elution, so you can create your elution with a chart like this or with a graph. Detection tile, you can have up to 6 channels, so it could be UV, so single wavelength for the UV or scan of UV. Of course, ELSD. And the last part is about the fraction collection. So you can put the right wax that you use on the system. So now I can stop the purge and I'm ready to start the purification. So I just have to change my camera to show you the injection on the system. So we make a liquid injection. So we just have to fill the loop manually with a syringe. As Alice told you, you can also use as an option an autosampler to make automatic injection. So now I can launch the method just by clicking on the software. Go back on the software page. Okay, so in few minutes, I have switched from normal phase to reverse phase, and I can start now my purification in reverse phase. And of course, I can follow the run in the live run here, the live run page. So to save time, I can show you the results that we have registered. I can just open in the raw process the method. And here you have the results of the purification in reverse phase mode. So I don't know if you have some time for few questions.
Okay, let me already start in that I will thank Nicola and Romain from our France to do this live demo. It's really nice. The chat is open to ask some questions. We have some time to do also. So if you have questions, you can drop them now in, even by asking directly. I'll give you a moment to do that. If there are no direct questions at this moment, it could be, of course. We will have here some contact details where you can also send your questions to. These are to my address, but we will follow them up with both of the companies, of course. To almost end this session and go back to Eline, I will thank, of course, Romain and Nicola from France. I will thank also Alice from out Belgium, and we here from the Netherlands. So it's a really broad area we have to focus on, but we have also focused on a broad spectrum of instruments. with a lot of capacities and possibilities to bring a right solutions to you in the field of purification or to do sample analysis. So thank you for your attention. And Eline, I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Jan. It's very nice to have a live demonstration like this, all the way from France. And well, for all the viewers, we will continue at 12:30, so it's in about half an hour, with a webinar from Daniela Peroni about the screening of aroma profiles in wine. So if you haven't signed up for this webinar yet, you can still do so. There'll be a link coming up on your screen. You can still sign up for the other webinars today. And all the webinars are recorded, so they will be available to watch as a replay. And you will be notified by email when the replays are available. So thank you again, Alice, Romain, Jan, and Nicolas. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to check quickly one more time if there are any questions. No, at the moment. So we're going to close off here, and thank you again, and hopefully we'll see you at the next webinar.